This is one of the clues that kind of links with the legends that giants did exist. So this could be the same giants who are memorialized in these particular statues.
Explore the Solitude Caves, home to unknown critters and ancient relics. Join me on a mysterious adventure like no other. Leviathan-like beings that live in the dark or out-of-this-world figures hiding secret. So let us find out what took place after a giant showed up in a cave in Mexico, and everyone was shocked. The dragon. He was exploring a cave and found a strange lump on the ground and the bones of some strange animal's life form. He tried to poke it with his foot but failed. Find out what it was that was checking them only led to more questions, as they didn't know who they belonged to. He chose to tell what he was seeing back out, and as he turned around, he saw some huge animal with horns in front of him. It was gone as quickly as it came. Seeing the man who was holy to the bone ran out of the cave and thought he probably saw a dragon that had found a safe place to stay in that cave. But they couldn't be sure it was the seeing was very not long-lasting. Cave Skinwalker. A couple on a trip chose to check out a dark cave in the rocks. Hills moving forward, they saw that it was a leftover M-shaft with rails still running along the road and sealed with metal panels. Out of interest, they went in. I would like to find something, but I don't listen up anymore. With nothing in sight at all, they were happy for a short time, but not for long, as they quickly noticed a pair of those eyes shining in the dark cave. Did you see them? I see. It went by pretty quickly, so take a look. Once more, they left quickly after coming out. They didn't want to become who those eyes belonged to in the past to is still not clear, but the guy said it had a skinwalker. Cave Worm. An exciting trip for two young men went in a strange direction. When they discovered a cave, they went inside and looked around through the room to meet the cave with snakes. Okay with the owner, Owen. They found a big body with no limbs. Wingless monster that looks like a dragon and has been talked about many times in old myths as Worm. These cave dwellers have never been seen in real life. A lot of people watched this clip on a lot of people were shocked to see the monster come to life. Some people didn't believe it and thought it nothing more than a computer virus aided picture. But let me know what you think about this thing in the words of wisdom. Scary monster. A group of friends chose to walk through some old caves and accidentally came across a figure came out of the darkness. Background, it couldn't be seen because of the in the dark video, but in the bright video, you could see a small two-legged animal running to the right in front of them in a strange way. When the guys tried to catch it, it was gone. Getting thin. Talk about this strange event. Questions about what kind of animal it was and what's the point of those creepy underground passages. Known as mummy. Scientists in Lima, Peru, found an amazing find of an old mummy. Discovered it buried in a stone tomb, most likely at the last minute while they were putting together a temple. The mummy was most likely from a group called the Sum of the Culture that lived in the Lima valleys many years ago. These guys were into making temples in the shape of a U. This has always faced the rising sun. Finding was like going back in time from the past, giving us a look into old from Peru art culture. The statue. Taking a trip to learn more about the Cyclops Cave is in Wales, and this guy found the great secrets of Cape Greco. Inside there were many statues of some forms were strange, but one stood out the most because of its strange features. The art piece had one eye in its head that didn't seem to belong with the other items. It was found in the cave 6,000 years ago, back to 5,500 BC, and let me tell you, that's very old. Which brings us to the big question about what would have motivated this cyclops shape shows up so early in time. Handprints in stone. This is found a lot in some parts of the desert where these are yours. such as in the honeycombs, and in the white desert of red something on a rock in Wyoming. Interesting, in one of the Whitstone Mountains have huge handprints in them. They are well known for being made by the native people who lived in the area. The people who live in the area think that the mountain is between 200 and 1,000 years old. But the way these were cut is the real puzzle. One of the ideas says that they were stuffed into the soft soil that got hard over time. These rock people think that crafts are one of the most important ones that bring together a lot of welcome visitors. Everyday cliff. Save a guy named Babu who started on a trip to climb a hill in Kerala, India with his friends when he somehow slipped and got stuck on a steep canyon after several failed rescue tries. His friends looked for help from people and local government. Too bad that all rescue missions failed because he wasn't stable. And because of the hard conditions he was stuck there for 2 days until the chief minister stepped in and tried to, with the help of the army. In the end, an officer in the Indian army crawled for hours till they got to Babu and gave him water before taking him safely to the top of the hill. Because of how unusual this guy's rescue made a lot of people think of the movie Hours. But not like the movie Babu, the Indian army saved him in the end. Attack weapon, a cache. A very exciting discovery was made. Place in Israel's Judean desert, when diggers found not one but 4 swords that are about 900 years old, keeping old things in great shape. These swords and a weapon with a shaft were found in a crack in a cave, and that they were in a Nedi nature reserve, and most likely hidden by the Judean rebels when the Jews fought the Romans in the 60s and 70s. The 65 centimeters blades had well-made handles. The stash was made of metal or wood. Moved to the Israel Antiquities Authority, controlled temperature by the authority laboratories for keeping things, and the finding pushed for conservation to find more of these kinds of things that ancient Egyptian. Oh, mummy. Things can be very heavy, but we can already see clearly below. Egyptian researchers set out on a wonderful trip near Cairo when they found the amazing remains 2500s people year to old mummy that was thought to be the dig showed of a high priest. The tombs and chambers that were hidden were. It was found that these old treasures, along with the mummy, there were other strange items, such as an early Egyptian board game with the body parts of a dog head and 4 jars that were used to hold the innards of the mummy were also found. A new find shines light on ancient Egyptian ways of burying people and interesting facts about the past and the customs of the area. Oh my word. Take a look at this lovely pale living in. Leaving on a European, this tourist was looking forward to an exciting trip. Explore an old cave that sits on top of Harad, is 10,000 feet above sea level. Austria, in the middle of stunning scenery formed by ice and rocks. The tourist's joy turned to a surprise when he saw a pale figure was seen moving on the caves. You might think it's just a ceiling snake, but it looked like a small, strange sight, left a humanoid figure a bunch of questions, and the video raised questions among fans about where some people thought it was either a cryptid or someone else said it was a new species. There was a cave spirit in the getting cold. Cave aliens. In cave picture, a monster with a huge head with long arms made of bone, and it looked like it was going after the people. Taking notes, play music if this horrifying scene was caught on film in the Philippines a few years ago in Sagada, and a secret that no one can solve. None of us know who recorded it or when. It's not clear if this thing was protecting the cave or something we can't do look at out since it came out. People stay away from the cave where that strange thing took place. Thing really makes you think, what's real? Big G's den. In 2016, a very strange video showed up from Giant's Causeway, UK, that began a number of investigations. The guest was looking at the natural reserve when he caught a by chance huge rock wall that opens and closes all yesterday morning on its own. We were being told, visitors and National Trust Rangers, I saw the famous fin go away, right? We think we have some video that has being taken on a cell phone. Look. There was talk that it might have been most likely a huge figure going away into the rocks. And some even said that the giant could be going to sleep. It led to a probe for winter, where each wall stone was no good proof found when it was checked. No one knew for sure if a giant might live there or not, but this certainly brought in a lot of people to where it is. Peru, the giants. A family on an adventure trip in Peru found something that they could not figure out what two huge beings people were seen standing on top of it. Rock. And they weren't like everyone else people, but these huge, tall giants have a look at the difference between people up on top of the mountain and these things next to each other, the height even a big change can be seen. Distance. A lot of people thought that they could be aliens from another world. People. But because of the movie's low quality, for which there was no good word sure. Little skinny. Put this up a few months ago. A lot of people are interested in the internet, filmed in a place no one knows about, a very big but very thin body, with there were push-ups of long legs. People who saw the clip are now thinking people who knew what it was said its slim man was showing off his gym routine, while others thought it might have something to do with a Bigfoot, as they like living in places that are far away. But its real name has stayed a secret. A mystery. Big one. Not long ago, a video taken from a Thai mountain said it had caught a huge person, which caused a worldwide. The video clip shows a figure being on top of one of the hills in the far away. But the landscape was foggy and it was hard to figure out what the video was about. A lot of people jumped in to guess, and these huge humanoid stats became the new thing when they have become interested in giant interested people. But these weren't just tall stories, they were actually caught on camera and put it online so everyone could see it. Google, in a world where the amazing is just a click away, the behind these mountain giants has it stayed not solved. Latin American Bigfoot. A very scary scene played out on a Mexican mountain when a huge figure showed up behind a house. Building scary for everyone town, where the event caused chaos among the people who came out of their homes. Everyone thought they heard screams of fear, that someone had broken into their town. A few netizens thought it might have been the return of the ancient giants, as Mexico has become famous for alien plots. People also thought about the chance, or something from another planet. The figure stayed unclear because no one was able to give it a name, but sure gave the people in town a good be afraid. Utah Bigfoot Sasquatch. In the rough part of Utah, two shooters for deer were on their way to Garden City when they found a strange sight. A dark, huge figure moving worry all over the Golden Land for safety in a hunting area where people are busy. Filmed the scene quickly and went on their journey a few days later. While the video, they were shocked to see there was something strange about the figure. Much bigger, looming over any person. They might have seen a Sasquatch. And it wouldn't be crazy to think that Utah is known to have seen these before giants. Here's another thing that happened on hills close to Provo, Utah, where a group of friends happened upon a tall person that it looked like something out of a story. It's too big to be I believe it is a Sasquatch. The big hairy beast was walking on the snowy ground, having cameras with them. They chose to the entity as being looked for, but the puzzle stayed until nothing was found. So I'm seeing something that isn't deer tracks any longer. We're trying to figure out what experts didn't believe what it was presence of these kinds of creatures, but still, people are interested in the unknown. Those people, going back to the wild, a Bigfoot in the wild with their cameras going. They caught the creature's clear presence while it was hitting wood and making noises. Rang out through the "it's wild." But that's not the end of it. When they found out there was more to it, more than one scary thing hiding in the shades in the trees showed them the way of the being. Like stinky Bigfoot with this hair and huge footprints, there is a trail of proof that they would likely be able to finally figure out what happened. Take a look at where my thumbs are pointing. Oh, okay. Them. The cougar. The scary part is when he's right out in front of the Division of Wildlife. Pine Valley Mountains have a lot of resources. Utah got a call about a huge animal. Lion was found trapped in a bobcat trap. The rescue team reacted and got there right away to help get rid of the animal. They put a chain around its neck, and it shut its eyes to calm down and know the mountain cat could run now. You must be wondering how the wild cat was caught, that's for sure. Because being trapped in a uterus is important for controlling predator wild animals and people in charge of salty water. This video was shared on social. The news made people scratch their heads when a supposedly 50-ton saltwater, a crocodile fossil, was found in Cape Jervis, Australia. Instead of saying thank you the finding, people thought it might be. Many people didn't even believe it was real, telling them the rocks were very old leftovers, not whole animals lying down. Several other people also said it was most likely a model car cut from a rock because of the holes in its eyes. Pretty clear, but that wouldn't be if it had been a fossil. A giant. In this new video from Salt, it was very strange to see Lake City, Utah. Took place near a busy rock mine. A strange figure was caught on camera. Against the clouds in the evening that looked like a huge being sitting on the mountainside. The people who were there were hit from the creepy picture. I know that thing sort of eerie. It looks like a person's shape. There are a lot of guesses up in the air arose about where the figure came from, with some say it might have something to do with activities in the quarry, while some also said that it was most likely a huge humanoid living in the mountains, with many sightings like this. This one has also not been confirmed, and watchers have left, who had more questions than if it was your answer.